Welcome to the premiere episode of Talks with Dorks. This is a podcast made for dorks by a couple of dorks. And I'm going to introduce you to the two dorks you're going to be listening to. My name's Ryan. I'm an old school kind of dork. I love anything and everything that's geeky. And my good friend that's joining me is my old friend, Ash. Hi, Ash.
How you doing?
I'm good. How do you feel about this podcast we're starting now then? You excited?
Yeah, it's a bit fucking nerve-wracking because it's the first time we've done anything like it. But yeah, no, it should be fun.
You've already dropped the F-bomb, so let's do the disclaimer now that this is going to be an over-18 podcast. So there is going to be some Fs, there's going to be some, probably any kind of swear word you can think of. So fuck it, let's carry on as we mean to go on. We are doing a podcast and we have dedicated this week's show to the one and only Cobra Kai. A great series that's over on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, stop the podcast now because this is going to be spoiler-ridden. So, straight off, Ash, what do you think of Cobra Kai Season 3?
I don't think there's a person alive, honestly, that's watched Cobra Kai and not thought it was a great program. Like, it's one of those shows, obviously it's from Karate Kid, isn't it? So it's a carry on from Karate Kid. And the thing that's so fascinating about this show is it literally appeals to anyone, even people that haven't watched the Karate Kid movies. Like, exactly. For instance, like my daughter, okay, so my daughter's 9 years old, and I've been watching Cobra Kai. I think I was on mid-season 2 when she caught, like, the odd episode. And it come to a point where she was kind of, like, continuously watching it with me. Like, I'd get up in the morning, I'd have my cup of coffee, I'd stick on Cobra Kai, watch an episode or two. And then it come to a point where she's like, Dad, are you watching Cobra Kai? I'm like, yeah, I'm watching Cobra Kai. She's like, oh, right. And then she'd, like, jump on the couch and she'd watch it. To the point where now she was starting to ask questions about it, like, so, because she didn't know, obviously, about Karate Kid. So I was like, look, if you want to know who all these people are, like, the flashbacks in this series, they're all going back to a movie, which is also on Netflix. So I was like, if you want to watch the first one and watch it from the beginning, go back and watch Karate Kid. And literally, I think I said that to her during the season 2, but now season 3's premiered. She's noticed it's back on TV again, obviously, because I've been smashing that out. And she saw, like, me watching 1 or 2 episodes, and she's actually now gone back, watched Karate Kid, and then she's finished Cobra Kai in a matter of, I think, 4 days.
Good
from
girl.
Seasons 1.
Good girl.
You know what I mean? She's literally watched the film, because I walked in there while she's tidying her room, and that's meant to be tidying her room, as kids do, and you find her doing anything but. But she's, like, watching Karate Kid. I was like, oh, you're watching Karate Kid then? I was like, you're finally going to know who Mr. Miyagi is. And so, yeah, it's like literally Monday, I think she was watching the Karate Kid movie, and then she's finished seasons 1 to 3 already. I think she finished it, like, yesterday or Thursday.
Well, that's good on her. That is really good on her, because she's like her dad in so many ways that she loves the similar things. And did you sit and watch the Karate Kid with her, did you say, or you didn't?
No, I've not gone back and watched Karate Kid. Luckily, it has been a long time since I've seen Karate Kid, but the flashbacks that they do, that's the good thing about it as well. They do the little flashbacks that are from the original movie. And even though I've not seen it, those little flashbacks jogged my memory.
Yeah, 100%.
So then I remembered, because I think I was talking to you about the flashbacks to the... is it Okinawa, or where was it?
Tomi Village in Okinawa. So when he goes back,
Okinawa, yeah. So that's, I think, Karate Kid 2 I'm least familiar with. I think I've seen it probably once or twice in my lifetime. And but those flashbacks, I was like, oh yeah, the tsunami and all that lot that they had on that one. Those little flashbacks just reminded me of those. So I kind of got where it was coming from.
So going back to sort of like, let's go into and sort of discuss the season, from the start, should we say? And it starts with the fallout of what happens to Miguel, obviously the champion of Cobra Kai, falling down off the stairs and hurting his back. How when it started, did you feel like, is this going to be, he's already going to be walking, or did you think, right, they're going to play this season on his injury?
Yeah, I mean, like, in terms of the injury, that's the only thing I thought was quite rushed, really. I mean, it was comical now, and I don't know what the time lapses were, but it just felt like it was very quick from the time where someone breaks their back to the point where they're up and walking. You know what I mean?
This is something I've been wanting to talk to you about, the whole injury situation. I'm glad that he's back and he's walking and stuff, but like you say, you didn't know. You can obviously tell there was meant to be like a couple of months jump in because certain things had happened, and like Robbie was in and out of prison really quickly. And obviously Miguel's walking again. But that to me, because there was no explanation of how long it had been, it felt like, hang on, he can't walk. He's never going to walk again. He's walking. He's now in a fight where he's getting his back quite injured. We'll go into the sort of last bit soon. He's getting his back and he's fighting again. It seemed like it had only been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, that's the thing as well. I mean, like you referred to when Robbie came out of prison with that one. Luckily, there was no real time frame on how long he was meant to be in there. I mean, obviously, he kicked a kid over the railings. He injured his back. He was hospitalised, but then the guy was out of hospital, so he survived it. They also said that if he handed himself in, it would be a reduced sentence. So you don't kind of know how long his sentence was. It could have literally been like just a couple of months. You know what I mean? It's like a slap on the wrist type sentence.
But that's what I mean. There was no explanation.
Yeah, but then so that luckily that's the only way you can get around that is the fact that they didn't really tell you how long his sentence was in prison. But yeah, like when with the Miguel injury in his back, obviously, was it broken or was it just a nerve damage? I can't remember. Obviously, he had the brace on, didn't he? The full kind of the proper screw brace kind of thing that they mount you to when you've got knee injuries,
which came and went quite quickly. This, I mean, I love this show, but there's a couple of little bits like this that I wanted to talk about that just to me was like, it's gone a bit quick. He's walking again. He's ready to fight. I don't know whether that's because I've binged it so quick. Usually you might watch a show that spreads out over 10 weeks because it's 10 episodes, but I've done it in a day.
Yeah.
So it's like it felt like it was the same day, realistically.
Yeah, I think I watched one episode a day till it was pretty much finished. But no, I had the same thing where I just thought it was really for someone that had broke his back to the point where he was already up and standing. I thought that was a little bit rushed, maybe. But you know what? It didn't take away from the series. I still really thoroughly enjoyed it. Like it was like the whole him trying to get him to walk was hilarious most of the time. Like he set his fucking feet on fire.
That was
the bit where he pours gasoline on his shoelaces and fucking sets them on fire, and he's like, "If you want to, put out the fire, you're gonna have to dance and put it out, kind of thing, or stamp on it or something."
And then it took him to go to, and I've been dying to talk to you about this. When they go to the concert, I can't remember the singer's name, D something, but he's obviously from the rock group, and he does "I Wanna Rock." When that came on, "I Wanna Rock."
Yeah, from what's the band now? Now I can't remember the band.
I can't remember.
Twisted Sister or something.
Is it Twisted Sister? I think it is. Yeah, and D. Yeah. His name was D something. We really should have done research on that one, but I'm sure once we're famous on this, people will remind us about our early cock-ups. So obviously, when that came on and it was "I Wanna Rock," mate, did I mark out? I went crazy for that. It's such a tune.
I think one good thing they've always got a really good soundtrack because obviously it's the era where Johnny and Danny grew up in 80s, all the hair rock bands and all that lot, Motley Crue and all that lot. Like when they was playing that Motley Crue "Kickstart My Heart" and that car chase scene, I had the sound bar on when I was watching it. So obviously I dimmed their lights down. I have my little cinema setting. I have my sound bar on, so it's got the bass boost on it. And when that scene kicked off and you got that Motley Crue blaring through the speakers, it's fantastic choice of music the whole way through those. And I love 3 seasons.
I love it as well. They use songs throughout the seasons. They use songs from the original movies as well. But sometimes, like when they did "Cruel Summer," I love that song from the Karate Kid. They did a more acoustic version of it early. I think it was season 2. They did an acoustic version of "Cruel Summer." I was like, yes! Yeah, it brings that song back. I think the only one, unless I've completely missed, is "You're the Best Around." I've not heard that come up yet. I don't remember it in the show.
I've not heard it, no.
So I'm hoping they're saving that for some sort of big finale of. I mean, I'm hoping it goes on for a couple more years. But that's the song I remember. And that song actually makes me just think of the All Valley tournament, the competition when he's going through and "You're the best around." It's such a proper 80s tune. We're back at the beginning of Cobra Kai. Obviously, it comes into it as Johnny sort of lost his way a bit, hasn't he? Because of what's happened to Miguel. He's lost Cobra Kai to Kreese, who, can I say, 37 years later?
No, I think they said it was since the first film, I think they said it was 27 years, wasn't it?
I'm sure it's older than us, Ash. It was 1984. How old are we? You're 35, so it's 36 years. 36 years since it's coming
I
out.
remember him saying something about 27 years in the series. I must have been wrong. It might have been, they might have said 37 then.
Kreese has not lost his touch. He's still...
Oh, yeah, he's still a massive prick.
And he still scares the fucking shit out of me. Straight up, he's got that look.
He is a good villain.
He's a great villain. You know what I mean? You'd think sometimes when they go back, you've seen films where they've carried on films and I wish I hadn't now. I'm glad I see it, but I wish they hadn't, because people they're not as young as they used to be. He still fucking really gets to me. Like, he scares the fuck out of me. Like, you would not want to piss that guy off.
Yeah, he does. He plays the part well. He does. He plays the part of someone that you literally think could rip your throat out.
Exactly. I mean, it's not just he's got the look, he's got the sound. It's like I imagine one day if we could get him on the show or something like that, do an interview with him. That'd be amazing. But I'm thinking a little bit too far ahead of us. But could you imagine I'd love to see what he's like in real life. I've just started following him on Twitter and stuff like that, and even there he seems like he's in character. So I'm like, is he a prick?
Is he like Johnny with social media in the series? Like, obviously, because he probably has no clue. Is he that bad with it? Because obviously Johnny's his big thing is like he doesn't know what social media is.
Which is one of the reasons.
Send it to the internet.
Hash brown Cobra Kai.
Hash brown, yeah.
Again, and that's one of the reasons why I was so adamant with you getting into Cobra Kai. I know you were you were saying you were gonna, but when you finally got into it's because of Johnny and the way he is reminds me in a way of you. But like, I don't know, it just reminds me of your attitude, the way he is. I mean, you are not the most favourite of social media people. All right, you're not as sort of behind as Johnny is.
Yeah,
but
I think I have like Instagram, and even that I rarely use. So, but yeah, I'm one of these people that kind of almost hates mobile phones because I see how much people are on it, and it like winds me up. Like, you literally go to a dinner with a group of mates, and they'll all be on their fucking mobile phones typing away, and that really bugs the shit out of me. I don't get it, and it's given me almost a bit of a hatred for mobile devices and that, because like I think you was the one that was like talking about my phone and this side, and I was like, mate, I have about 2 apps on it.
Yeah, because you like, literally do nothing. Phone. I'm like, Ash, have you got this app? You got that? No, I haven't got a clue what that is. I don't know what that is. Even like the simple apps that I think you should have, like, did you know you could play Xbox on your phone with it? Yeah, don't bother me. Don't use it. All right, okay. All right, sweet.
Yeah, no, mobile gaming is it's the cancer of gaming. I can't do it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Cancer is a strong word to use for gaming, but okay.
I just despise it. It's like, Christ. But no, yeah, it is hilarious. Though.
One of the bits that got me is this is something a topic I want to talk about is I love red herrings in Cobra Kai, how they make you sort of think something and throw you off the scent. Like the whole, one of the ones I'm talking about now is like Johnny with his phone. Like we know we need Johnny to see his phone because he's had a friend request from Ali with an I from the Karate Kid, Daniel, and the love interest of the first film. You want him to go back and find his phone, and it's just like Harry keeps saying, he keeps dropping. He's like, I don't have a phone anymore. You're like, oh yeah, but you need to get that phone. We need you. Like, as soon as you get that phone, we know that something's going to happen with Ali. And it's when he takes his laptop to the pawn shop, and the guy's like, he's like, yeah, it's just died on me, and he's like, you do know you have to charge it, right? And it's the look on his face, like, and you can get Facebook on there, like.
No, it was thingy. Miguel told him about it. Yeah, he was.
The pawn shop guy
on the laptop.
Yeah, but it's what I'm saying. You knew it was all right. So yeah, it's like it was coming because the pawn shop guy tells him about the power. That's how he needs to plug it in. And then that's right. You're right. Miguel comes up and says that you can get Facebook on your laptop. But it's like. He's like,
you've got a computer, right? Because he's like, I don't have a phone anymore. But no, because I think I messaged you about that, didn't I? Because obviously you had finished it well before I even started it. I think
I got woke up by my stepson on New Year's Day. Brad was waking up, going, "Can we watch Cobra Kai? Can we watch Cobra Kai?" I was like, "Brad, I really want to watch it, but I'm still half asleep." He went, "I'm going to go watch it." So he went and locked himself in the room because he knew that I wasn't going to go in and catch episode 3, 2 minutes of it because I'll be annoyed. Spoilers. I want to sit and watch it myself. Yeah. So then I by the time I started, he was 2 episodes from finishing. So
yeah,
I was ready.
But it's like I think I remember.